Hey there, guys. Nolen Walker here. Today's title is I'm Not Polished but Highly Successful. And this was different than one that I did that said I'm not flashy. I don't think most people that are highly successful are flashy. You get an unfair view of it on Instagram and other places. But, I started with a great entrepreneurial spirit, drive, and instinct, and I'm here to offer hope to all would be or budding entrepreneurs and business people. It means that if you're pushing a lawnmower, doing handyman work, just started a social media channel, a podcast, or whatever it is, I'm here to give you direction for that and to show you some of the things. It's also different than you think. People normally started with almost nothing and went forth from there, as did I. And so I wanted to share some of the things about myself. And when I say I'm not polished, I didn't go to a four-year university. I did try, but I had a bit of a hard knock story, and I don't want to go into all that right now. But for years I tried. I went to junior colleges, and I did go to a pretty nice four-year university for one semester. But what had happened is that I was always in business, and my business had really taken off. I was earning a ton of money and then studying books to take Scantron tests that somebody gave to me. And, so if you don't have a four-year university degree, I think it's pretty common for an entrepreneur, partially because we feel like we can't do anything else or we couldn't do that route. But I'm here to tell you that maybe it was the best thing and to be grateful for some of the things that have happened, good and bad, because it leads you to where you are. I don't think most of us would have started our own businesses if life had been super easy. I find myself feeling, I don't know how I come across, but I feel less polished. I have less command of like corporate jargon. In fact, I hate it, the acronyms and all the bull crap. We have employees here. I have several businesses, and I do it all without any of that crud. And I've risen to a pretty darn good lifestyle. I think that if you saw my lifestyle, you would want to live something similar or at least have respect for it, how we live on a day-to-day basis. So if you're starting out, it's a baby step to the next level. I want you to keep going. Don't give up. I want you to fight, and I want you to have faith in what's next, faith that you will get a return. Some things to help with this are just knowing this for starters, and maybe a vision board or a daily affirmation. Put in writing what you want, what you expect out of yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, but do practice consistency and diligence and combine it with a little bit of faith. And I'm talking about faith just in yourself and faith that there will be a better tomorrow, faith that the work will pay off. So many people quit before anything happens or won't even go forward because they're not getting paid to go forward. You'll have to work without payment. In fact, one of the businesses that I have now, I did digital marketing for free for a few people because I didn't know what I was doing. So I just asked a friend, I said, hey, I'll work for free. So, I'm not saying if you can't do that, don't do that, but you got to start where you can start and get going and be diligent, consistent, show up every day, make mistakes and fail, and have hardship, and then gain expertise and experience. I mean, over the course of time, you will gain experience. One of the things I say on my channel is I'm here to help you get into business, to stay in business, and to become successful. I want to be clear about one thing. I'm not your crypto expert. I'm not your financing expert. I have real estate and know a lot about it, but I'm not your real estate expert. I'm not any of the things on this as an expert. I'm an expert on entrepreneurial spirit, drive, freedom of that, and what it means. It means a better house. It's nice to lay your head down in. Safety. It's land. The place where the house sets is better. The part of town. The trees. Does it have soil deep enough to grow an oak tree? Little things, The food, the type of food you buy. Your knowledge on it, your ability to stop and take time to prepare food. I mean, these are little things that make big differences in the quality of life. The people you hang around. Do you get to hang around good people? Have you been able to? You don't know what you don't know, and I can tell you that it's worth the fight to get to the next level. I would love to have you join me as an entrepreneur and business person and get to that next level so that you understand these things. Once you buy a piece of real estate for a cash flowing asset, or you buy some stocks, or you invest in something, you'll learn what you need to learn from that. In fact, I believe that that is not the most important thing. I think that we all fixate on the big thing and then we get paralyzed on the small things. I think it was actually Bill Gates that said, people underestimate what they can do, overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5 or 10 years. So what ends up happening is that people overestimate, and then don't get what they want, and then they stop short of what could have happened. I think it's probably the most dangerous thing you can do. And the second most dangerous thing is over analysis of things. Just try something. If there's tons of just real estate groups, you can go join and pay a little bit of money. They'll help you buy and hold your hand on your first property. Once you own that, then you'll know those people and hang out with some people, and you'll talk to your CPA, and you'll learn this and you'll learn that. All these baby steps from one thing to the other. I started mowing lawns and painting curbs. I actually did hanging baskets out of a greenhouse I had as a kid. I was born decently and a decent family. We're all, most people listen to this are in the United States, so there's things going for all of us. Certain people had worse situations. Almost all people that are doing well, millionaires and where you want to be, had hardship and started rougher than people think. It's statistically, I should have looked it up, but you look this stuff up, most of these people are not flashy. They were not handed everything. They worked hard. Most of them don't drive a Bugatti or a McLaren. They drive a Ford F-150. I think that was Millionaire Next Door. That is the average thing, but that's not what you're trying to get to anyway, is not shoes and cars. I don't think so anyway. It looks good for YouTube. It looks good for Instagram and TikTok. But the lifestyle that is the best is where you stay, who you hang out with, food you eat, quality of time, dreams and accomplishing goals. Those things are the best. The day-to-day living, little bitty things are the best things. And then big things like the home, where it is, who you hang with, food you put in your mouth, the thoughts in your head. These are the things that are the bigger things, not a car. I mean, most people don't care about that sort of stuff, especially when you're in the very best environments. That stuff melts away entirely. When I started, I'll share just a little bit from lawn care to me literally pushing a lawnmower. I hate mowing lawns now, but I was grateful and glad to do it at the time. So I've mowed a lot of yards, probably 1,000, 2,000 yards. I don't know. But push lawnmowers, I didn't have the money for the even self-propel or whatever, I didn't have a riding lawnmower. I just pushed a mower. I got the big wheels on the back, so it rolled a little easier, but it was tough, So I went from that, bumped around. I had a home security company. The first one went belly up, didn't do well. Second one kicked butt, went skyrocketed. It was unbelievable success, and it was great time. Now, I made a ton of mistakes, and I didn't know how to invest. And the thing about all of this was that I had fun while I was doing it. I was working maybe harder than had I been employed somewhere, but my future was always in front of me and mine to choose. I got to move around, buy stuff, hire people. I did all kinds of things that were different than what people normally get to do, and nobody told me what, when, how to do it. Even though I self-regulated myself and worked my ass off, no one told me that stuff. So I was able to, I don't know how many houses I moved from, which was dumb, so you learn these things. It's not dumb to buy a house if you're going to rent. You work on it, get some trees, fix your home up, get a pool, whatever you do, and you have a nice lifestyle. But we moved a lot, and I wasted a bunch of money moving. Every time I had a kid, I moved. Or if I wasn't satisfied, I moved from one side of the town to the other. You'll hear me talk about things like coveting other people's stuff. I'd think about a neighborhood. Oh, I got to go over there. And it's not that. It's like it's visualizing those things instead of what will make me be there and have an easy lifestyle. It's cash flowing assets, it's investments, it's proper usage of your money. So to go buy the big house seems like a good idea, but you'd better buy a modest home to start out with, and then have a good lifestyle. You'd be better off with a home with trees that you can fix up the yard, fix up the house, and you enjoy yourself in that modest home. Because if you buy the big one, you probably spend all the income that you have that would be used for investment so you could keep the house. So all these things get learned over time. I'm 51 years old, and I learned these things, I feel like, very slowly. Like I said, I wasn't polished. I still don't feel polished. I speak better than I used to. I know a lot of things about a lot of things. I know a lot about taxes and investing and real estate, and I know all these things now, but it's still in a good old boy format. I do it the way I want. I'm not trying to put on airs for people, and I call my own shots, and that's one of the things I cherish the most. I'm working now, as I've gained cash flowing assets and investments, on my lifestyle, but I'm cautious as I do that. You'll see what I mean as you move forward. But we live between Texas and Hawaii, have ownership in both states. Lifestyle and work lifestyle is different. My time, my daily, day-to-day life, opportunities, and legacy. I fight for these types of things. I don't think about the flashy things that you think about when you think about keeping up with the Joneses and things like that. If I have a large house, I'll put up as large a gate around it as I can in trees so nobody can see it. I'm not trying to show it to people. Other places are more modest. Like if I'm in Hawaii, it's a smaller home, but it's all about location there and where I am there. But anyway, so if you're not polished, if you're mowing a lawn, if you're just starting your social channel, people making fun of you on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, if you feel at odds with things, if you are worried about your thought processes and everyone else has a different mentality of going with the flow and you feel like you're bucking the system, I want you to have some hope. I want you to move forward. And there is a community there for you. It's a smaller community. It's a little tougher on that road up front, but it is a much better road in the end. And you don't have to be polished. You can be authentic and you can be yourself, and you can learn the business things that you need to learn, whether it's incorporated and legal or proper legitimate tax strategies, how to invest, how to leverage, how to manage your overhead and have profits left over to invest, how to moderate your lifestyle creep, and what's important to spend money on so that you can have a great life, like food in your mouth first over a car. So those are things that I'd like to help you with. Guys, keep tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. You don't have to be polished. I'm not polished. I got a podcast room here. I don't do the editing. That's just me, though. I spent time on other stuff. So you don't have to know it all. You just have to know a little bit and do you and move forward and learn, and you'll become a master of your craft, and that will eventually pay you, and you'll eventually learn how to turn that into a rich, successful life. And in the meantime, enjoy the failures and enjoy the few successes that come, because those successes eventually end up daily. I'll see you.